Thank you for staying with us. And now the front pages of the papers. We'll start with The Nation. Idris, federal government projects spread fairly among 6 zones. Northwest is a major beneficiary, over 1,000 primary healthcare centers rehabilitated. Health security systems reinforced to combat disease threats. APC sweeps to victory in 20 Rivers councils. Bandits being appeased by government, El-Rufai alleges. Tinubu, Okpebolo, Agbetokun, and others mourn ex-IG arrested. Investors await interim dividends by major banks. And we have 12 ISWAP fighters killed in Borno. 16 die in Zamfara boat accident. And last, Union Bank of Nigeria completes merger with Titan Trust Bank.
Okay, so the Union Bank of Nigeria, one of the nation's longest-standing financial institutions, today announced the successful completion of its merger with Titan Trust Bank Limited, following final approval from the central bank. This milestone, according to a statement from the bank's chief brand and marketing officer, Mrs. Atiku, concludes a process that began with the signing of the share sale agreement in 2021. And this positions Union Bank as an even stronger force within Nigeria's financial service sector, because under the terms of the merger, Union Bank has fully absorbed Titan Trust Bank operation and its assets, and then they'll be operating under Union Bank now. And with this now, they've expanded their footprint of over 293 service centers, 937 ATM machines nationwide, which supported by strengthened digital channels. So Union Bank is poised to deliver enhanced value across retail, SME, and corporate segments. This is huge. You know, I'm a Union Bank child, so this is amazing. They should keep going bigger, stronger, and more reliable.
This is a merger that's been in the news for quite a while.
So they come outside. I have River State. So the chairman of the state's Independent Electoral Commission, RCEC, Michael Ludi, has announced that APC 120 out of all the 23 local governments in River State, and the PDP won 3. One of the 3 local governments won by the PDP is that of the FCT minister, Wike, which is Obiakpo, his own town. And then the nation carries it that Ikwere local government, which belongs to the former Minister for Transport, Rotimi Amechi, was not delivered to his own party, ADC. But I'm wondering, did they take part in the elections? The interesting read for me on this, because I read this story in 2 papers, is that of The Guardian, where the former VP was querying the transparency of this election, that it was just, a takeover. But the nation's angle just says that this is an endorsement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of, the way the elections went. And then in The Guardian, it was said that the FCT minister now, Nyesom Wike, is saying now everything is set for the governor to take over his office, as well as the House of Assembly members to come back to the House of Parliament. Yes, that is now time. So I'm thinking, after you don't collect grassroots finish, but if you want to compare the reads, go and get The Guardian and read it first before you read The Nation.
First is always the wild card.
The federal government says they are repositioning its public health system to effectively detect and safeguard the country from emerging global health trends. It cited the ongoing re-equipment of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, and the inauguration of the Integrated Disease Reference Laboratory in Lagos as example of efforts to attain the goal. Now, the Integrated Disease Reference Laboratory is for neglected tropical diseases, malaria, fungal diseases, and others. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, explained this on his official X yesterday, and says the goal is retooling the center to make it a global reference point for disease surveillance and response. He wrote, and I quote, "We are building resilience as well as agility in a world where local emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases can rapidly turn global. The federal government is working hard to prepare our national institutions, our health professionals and scientists. This informed our resolve to reposition the NCDC to be a preeminent reference point on our continent and globally for disease surveillance, prevention, preparedness, and response." So according to him, he says the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been instrumental in driving several breakthroughs in the health sector, and they've produced important breakthroughs that promise to enable our country to be most effectively prevent or respond to any new recurrent public health emergencies. I hope that this will help us for when we begin to have all those cholera outbreaks, we have Ebola and all those things.
Yeah, yeah, I have one. At least 12 Islamic State West Africa province ISWAP fighters have been killed during long-range offensive commando operations. This is by troops of Operation Hadankai in Borno State. The operation, backed by intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance of the Air Component Command, was conducted August 29 to 30th. So a source was speaking to the nation at the weekend, and he says that troops cleared Tamsu, Ngamdu, Dala Kaleri, and Gaza of terrorist activities, and later engaged and neutralized 12 insurgents in a heavy gun duel at a suspected terrorist location. Troops recovered rifles, over 8 AK-47 rifle magazines loaded with rounds of ammunition, different drugs, medical supplies that were used by terrorists were all recovered. So this is a success for our war against terrorism. So this is a win for us. Let's go on to the next paper, Punch. So Atiku demands annulment as Wike reasserts control. Who took that story? Then we already taken Union Bank of Nigeria completes merger with Titan Trust. There's a picture story here. Palestinian man evacuating the Al Rimal neighborhood of Gaza City. This is truly a sad picture here. We've got Tinubu police mourn as ex-IG dies at 69. Infractions, federal government threatens to disconnect Gencos from power grid. Wow. Reps deny alleged planned showdown with Speaker. Northwest leads in FEC projects with 5.97 trillion naira. Who has got what?
I have the Tinubu and the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun and several other governors have, mourned the passing of the former IGP, as well as the immediate past chairman of the Police Service Commission, Solomon Arase, who passed yesterday at the age of 69 in a hospital, private hospital in Abuja. After a brief illness, his passing was announced by his first son, Solomon Arase Jr., who described his father as a man who served the country with distinction, and a lot of, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, also lent his voice to how Arase laudably served the country. He said he joined the service from 1981 till 2016. Till his passing, he was in service, and we served the country meritoriously. I just wanted to take this story to highlight the plight of police officers, retirees who are asking that their benefits under the contributory pension scheme is not good enough, and they're trying to get out of it so that they can then restructure it so that it will cover a lot of their issues. And I think that we should take this as one, because this is some of the unsuccessful things that couldn't be handled at the time. With his passing, let's do something laudable for police officers. So everybody dies because everybody is meritorious in service.
May his soul rest in peace. Before we continue, let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the paper's reviews. Thank you.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. We're still reviewing the Punch.
Yeah, I have a human interest story inside the paper. So the arrest of a previously convicted Nigerian, Theophilus Awana, by the United States Immigration has sparked calls for deportation of criminal migrants among U.S. citizens. So Punch Online had on Sunday reported that Awana, who was convicted of second-degree rape in Baltimore, Maryland, was rearrested by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. According to Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services, Awana had been sentenced to 20 years imprisonment in Bel Air and has been under a final order of removal since September 2021. He had, however, remained in the U.S. despite the removal order. So in a statement on Saturday by the Baltimore Field Office of ICE, Awana was rearrested and now faces removal from the USA. So the statement read, and I quote, Another dangerous criminal, illegal alien, is in custody thanks to the hard work of ICE at Aero Baltimore officers. Now, Nigerian national Theophilus Awana, who has been convicted of second-degree rape, was arrested August 29. He has a final order of removal and will remain in ICE custody. So they took to social media to express their concerns. Some U.S. citizens are now saying that they have to deport every criminal that is in their country, whether they have given a deportation order or not. They can't keep leaving them in the country. And that's what the news is about.
Okay. So, baffled by the incessant collapse of the national grid, the federal government, through the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, has issued an order mandating all electricity generation companies connected to the grid to implement the free governor control across their generating units, warning that non-compliance will attract heavy penalties, including disconnection from the grid. What this is actually is that in power generation, a governor is a control system that regulates the speed or output of a turbine or generator. Its primary function is to maintain a stable speed or frequency. So a free governor control is a mode of operation in power generation where the governor of a turbine or generator is allowed to freely adjust the output in response to changes in grid frequency. So this control mode enables the generator to contribute to grid stability by automatically increasing or decreasing output to match demand and maintain frequency within acceptable limits. So it's been ordered now that they need to activate the FGC, and it has to take effect from 1st of September 2025, and that whoever doesn't adhere to this shall be liable to a penalty of a prorated 10% of the invoice associated with the defaulting generating unit, and any generating unit that records 90 consecutive days of FGC non-compliance shall be disconnected from the grid.
Okay, let's go on to the Daily Sun. Major headline: Government empowering bandits. El Rufai accuses Kaduna governor of paying bandits 1 billion naira, claims Tinubu won't win re-election in 2027. Outrage over burning of woman in Niger. Please, who took that story?
I
didn't hear that. Then we had taken Union Bank of Nigeria, complete merger with Titan Trust Bank. Fresh concerns over sustainability of federal government's new debt strategy. Tinubu fair to all Nigerians, federal government. COP, ADC, LP, PDP knock police over ban on political gathering. And we have ex-Justice Minister attacks Alia's slogan, calls it undemocratic. Yeah, who's got?
So I have the human story where they say it's so disheartening. It is still an atmosphere of disquiet in Niger State following the burning alive of a woman in Gaba, Mariga, local government of the state, on Saturday for alleged blasphemy. They said, yes, that after 24 hours after the incident happened, and neither the state government nor nor any religious bodies have made any comment about this bad act. And what had happened was that when the woman was taken to, after the blasphemous comment, the woman was taken to the district head, the palace of district head of Gaba for questioning. And then when she was handed over to security personnel, and when they were coming out of the place, the mob, people, overpowered the security operatives and then lynched the woman and set her ablaze. Wow. And they said the lady, she's a Muslim faithful and a popular food seller in the area. And what had happened was that she was having an altercation, exchange of words with a young man who is said to be her nephew. He had proposed to her and said that he wanted to marry her. And so he wanted to marry her. She said no. And then in responding, because he said he wanted to marry her to fulfill the sunnah. Maybe explain to us what the sunnah is.
And can you marry your auntie?
Yes, and then she said that she wasn't interested. And then she made the comment, but in the Muslim, or they said it was in the blasphemous way. And that was why she was lynched and set ablaze. Oh, and since this thing happened, they said no religious body has made any comment, nothing. This is so sad, and their life has returned to normal. Why? Is it by force to marry somebody?
There's not even sunnah to marry your auntie. So which sunnah? Maybe that's what she said, and that maybe then
It's truly a sad story.
Yeah, I
It
think
even
it was
reads
in
like any other
2025.
story. Yes, you would have thought any other story
Yes,
here.
I do. So, Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, has extended warm congratulations to the Malaysian counterpart, Mohammed Hassan, as Malaysia marks its independence anniversary. This was disclosed in a statement issued yesterday by Kimiebi Ebienfa, spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So, Tuga described the occasion as a symbol of resilience, unity, and determination of the Malaysian people in building a sovereign, prosperous, and harmonious nation. The message underscores the spirit of international solidarity and continued diplomatic ties between Nigeria and Malaysia. So according to Suga, he said Nigeria joins Malaysia in celebrating this historic milestone, which reflects a shared aspiration for peace, progress, and mutual respect among nations. Nigeria and Malaysia enjoy long-standing and friendship or friendly relations underpinned by operations in trade, education, investment, and multilateral engagement. It says both countries also continue to work closely within the Commonwealth, the non-aligned movements, the Organization Islamic Cooperation, D&8, the United Nations, advancing global peace, sustainable development, and South-South cooperation. As says, on this joyous occasion, Nigeria reaffirms its commitment to further deepening bilateral ties with Malaysia, exploring new areas of collaboration, of friendship and partnership between the two countries, to get us to prosperity. Congratulations to them on their celebration of the anniversary.
Yes, I'm struggling to understand this story that it took. So, the fresh concerns over sustainability of the federal government's new debt strategy. New debt strategy, that's the medium-term debt management strategy, has expanded our debt space, borrowing space, to the tune of about 60%, according to what I am understanding. They struggle anonymous. So, I'm struggling.
Should we bring out our calculators?
So the Debt Management Office has recently unveiled its revised framework for 2024 to 2027, recalibrating targets to reflect weaker macroeconomics conditions and a sharper, higher debt stock. And let me just quote the people that know book. The president of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, Oluropo Dada, was speaking recently at a workshop, Capital Formation in Nigeria, Empowering Industry, Institutions, and Markets to Drive a 1 trillion economy. This 1 trillion economy, which this administration is looking at to achieve by 2030, they call it an ambitious one, but they said it is only possible. They said Nigeria is in dire need of a national savings strategy to mobilize local capital and channel it into productive sector, particularly manufacturing and technology. But, moving this ceiling, widening the borrowing gap to 60% is essentially creating room for more debt without a clearer path to revenue mobilization. And this only heightens fiscal risk. And he says that the government is only trying to balance optics with reality. He said our reality is quite sobering. And just reading it, I don't know, I'm struggling to see whether this is possible. We're saving money, but are we really saving it? Because we're giving the multinationals without really a strategy to, and multinationals, subnationals.
Okay.
Now their own money pass. All the state governors, they're owing too. Not be only us. So all our debts from the IMF loans, the World Bank loans, all of this.
And they cancel those debts.
Let me quickly read the major headline here is, that's Nigerian Tribune, we're on the Nigerian Tribune right now, and the major headline here is no region playing second fiddle, none ignored. This is the federal government. This is alleges distortion of facts, figures, says verifiable data shows Northwest as biggest beneficiary of projects, list project locations and costs. We have still the story of the morning of the passing of the ex-IGP, Arese. Then here we have 4.8 billion naira railway earnings threatened as Abuja, Kaduna, Warri, Itakpe halt train services. Minister rules out sabotage in Abuja, Kaduna derailment. We have, it is not right for Obi Amechi to promise to serve one term. This is El Rufai. Says, I don't think anyone believes them. ADC hasn't taken position and Tinubu can win on first ballot. We also have Union Bank completes merger with Titan Trust Bank. We've taken that. Why is it risky? Why it is risky for PDP to field Jonathan or Obi? This is according to Keyamo. So who's got this? No region playing second fiddle?
Yes, I do. So the federal government has dismissed claims of lopsided development under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, insisting that his administration has been guided by fairness, justice, and equity in the distribution of projects, appointments, and opportunities across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. So the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, in a statement this weekend, stated that the contrary to insinuations and misinformation, the administration had shown uncommon commitment to inclusivity and balanced national development since assuming office. According to him, he said the government's flagship infrastructure projects reflect an even spread across board. While the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway traverses the southern corridor, the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway cuts across the north. He says the sense of balance runs through all the major infrastructure projects being implemented today. They said there are also massive interventions where, you know, they didn't have roads, bridges, rail across the country. So they just said they had secured 150 billion and 100 billion for light rail projects in Kano and Kaduna, while the metro line projects in Lagos and Ogun, you know, is also ongoing.
Okay. Thank you. That's all we can take on the front page review. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.